is there another alternative for you? So we go back to expert panel. If you don't qualify for PGWP, which I can guarantee you, I don't really think any of my students will qualify for that. I honestly don't think. There are people that they have masters and PhDs, but they don't have IELTS. There are people that they have IELTS, they don't have masters and PhDs. There are people that they don't have IELTS. There is like different things. Like the combination of all of this is just extremely difficult to actually qualify for, right? So, the biggest difference, and Yasser can verify this, the biggest difference between postgraduate work permit and the Provincial Nominee Program is that Provincial Nominee Program is need-based. We need these people. That's why we're exempt of a lot of stuff, hoops and loops that you're going to go through. The latest publication from BC says, out of 100 jobs in BC, we can only fill 61. So that says 39 position is always open in BC. Those positions are skill-related positions. Like you might think if there is that many jobs available, why are there still people shooting drugs over here and they're unemployed and homeless? Because they just don't qualify for those jobs, right? So, multiple programs are available under different provinces. I can see that there is prairie provinces have their own. Saskatchewan have the, just like if I lie, tell them that I'm lying. Saskatchewan has its own. BC has its own. There is prairie provinces, Atlantic provinces, and they all have different programs with different qualifications and all that. Some of them are super fast. Do you want to tell us about the tech pilot?
Oh yeah, you know, like BC has needs a software programmer, you know, like a tech skill people that they can get like a permanent residency in less than 6 months. It's like that fast. As soon as you have the person who employs you.
We had a student whose husband was a tech-related person. They applied on Sunday night. They applied online. Monday, 11 o'clock, literally less than 24 hours, they got nominated. She was not believing it. She was in that room, and she came out and she's like, we got nominated. 12 hours. So that's like how much need is there for those people. If you are studying in a tech-related thing, there is a tech pilot super fast. They have a concierge for it. Go read welcomebc.ca, you would know about it. They have a new program, it's called BC Regional Pilot, if you have like some money to do that. But I mean, like there are some programs in PNP that you can make it to PR much faster, okay? There is like multiple different ways, but the one that I always introduce to people, and I want you guys to correct me if it is not, there is just one program that is the easiest one of all. It says have 2 years experience from back home. It has to be in the same NOC as what you're doing right now in Canada. Be legally admitted to Canada. Work minimum 9 months, minimum 30 hours per week. The employer has to advertise for 2 weeks for a job offer with no LMIA. LMIA is not required. Do you know why? Can anybody guess why BC-PNP does not need LMIA, but Federal Express Entry does need LMIA?
Because we need those people.
Sorry?
I think because that's federal and government's money, and they're like generally
Provincial. Yeah.
We need.
No, it's actually not that. We need these people in the province. I'll reveal a little secret for you. When we work, the taxes we pay, the federal government gets it. All the income taxes are going to federal government. So federal government pushes provinces to bring down the unemployment. They want all of us to work, so we provide taxes to the federal government. Also, the money that goes to employment insurance is coming from the federal government's budget. It's from their pocket. So it's beneficial 2 ways for the federal government that every single person in BC works. Okay? So what they do is that they push BC and they're like, make jobs, make jobs, make jobs, make jobs, right? And then BC is like, I have enough jobs, I just don't have enough people. So that's why I need CIAMAC, and I need CINA, and I need LIDA, and And that's a need-based immigration. When I need these people, I don't have to go through all the hoops and loops. So the good thing about BC PNP is that it's super easy, right? So the expert panel already answered that the LMIA is exempt because it's a need-based immigration, all right? So, if you have a job offer that is LMIA exempt, and there is conditions attached to it, that company that gives you the job offer must have 5 full-time employees, or equally as much part-time employees, but 2 part-time equals 1 full-time. So if you have 3 full-time and 4 part-time, still it qualifies. You have to be financially stable. That comes from the PD7A forms, the taxes that we're paying. You have to be provided with a non-determinate employment, which means there shouldn't be any expiry date attached to it. And then they have to do 2 weeks advertisements. It's formality, really. Like it's just like they want you to do these 2 weeks. Anything else you guys want to add to this?
No, that's it.
No, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much
so
that's it.
this leads to a closed work permit, and then you can get your PR after. Now, I know that this is just becoming more than what we expected, but the question: how can you work 30 hours per hour? Co-op. That's why there is the reason for co-op. That's why we all private schools, because we want to make money, we just create programs with co-op. Why don't publics do that? Because when we get you for the co-op program, we are conditionally responsible to place you at co-op. Okay? I spent half of my income to place every single person at co-op, right? But BCIT, UBC, they can't do it. They have 25,000 people. How are they gonna spend, like, you know, it's impossible for them to put that many people at work. That's why they do not have co-op programs. Publics never have co-op programs. It's only us. And that actually lets you work more than 30 hours. So only with a special work permit that is known as a co-op open work permit, private institutions are creating this, you can work as much as that. So that's why, again, going back to whatever we said, that's why it's very important for everybody to actually go to that co-op, last for 9 months, and then apply. It is perfectly designed for, like, these programs that we have here is perfectly designed for that. Because once you hit the 9 month, then you're eligible, and it takes 3 months to get nominated. So you have applied. Remember, like she was saying, don't wait until the last minute, come 3 months before. So you have to have your path already planned. Now, if you're going to a public institute, and if their workload lets you work, you're working 20 hours per week. I calculated based on minimum wage every single year at a public institute, you're making $13,520 if you actually are able to work every single hour. I calculated it based on however many hours are available for you to work. If you go to a co-op program, then with the minimum wage, you're making $40,560. So for a public institute, you're paying $40,000, you can make 13 back. Here, you're paying 10, and you can make 20 back. Right? I'm not trying to compare, I'm just giving you the facts. All right? So, the result. Your age is no longer a decisive factor. Your English level can be lower than express entry. You can immigrate sooner than what it is expected. All you need is a co-op program and a job offer of somebody that can support you. Now, with that, I would like us to welcome Merit on the stage. Okay. Hi. Merit is roughly at Victoria's age. Are you guys roughly the same age? She's younger. Okay, so she's younger a couple years or whatnot. But they're both young, roughly at the same thing. Victoria spent $80,000 and went to Langara. He spent $17,000 and went to ITD. Right? So $80,000, $17,000. Roughly the same age. It's not a degrading thing to Mert, but Victoria's English is much better than Mert. And he agrees with that, right? Okay? So I'm not trying to put anybody down or whatever, but Mert had a talent. He's a good programmer. So I noticed it when he was He was my student, right? So I noticed that, he's good. Then I hired him for co-op. And then I started saying, okay, well, maybe it is time for me to invest on something, right? Then we had a discussion, and I gave him a job offer. It was an easiest 1, 2, 3. He is now nominated for the Provincial BC PNP. So very soon, within the next year or two, he's going to get the PR. He's not the only one, so let's just congratulate him on that. David Saludas back there, I sponsored him as well. Saigen Gowen, who is not here. Massa, of all people that you know. There was a girl before that, Taina. I just gave a job offer to all of them. I'm not saying that I will give a job offer to every single one of you, but if you are good enough and you prove it to me that you're good enough, I'm not stupid. I will do it. If I see that you're a benefit to my organization, I will do it. Every single person who has a business in Canada is not a dumbass. That's why they have a business, right? So if they're not dumb and they see the value in you, they will hire you. They will sponsor you, right? I'll tell you what, there is a pop quiz. I'll tell you why I did sponsor these people, all right? But I see the value. I see like David can do, I have a need. I have to hire someone. David can do it, so we negotiated. Same thing with Mert, same thing with Saigen, same thing with like a lot of different people that I sponsored. All right? So tell me, Mert, how hard was your process?
It wasn't difficult for me at all because I had the 5 years experience back home in Turkey, and like I got many points. Like I received the very first draft nomination in the, like 1 day, and then
Tech Pilot?
Like yeah, Tech Pilot. But again, it took to got the official nomination like 4 months, but I have received. And then like I applied to the and probably it takes possible.
No, it doesn't take forever. It takes about 18 months because I have done it for other people. And for that 18 months, he gets a closed work permit and he has to work for me. He can't work anywhere else. But this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'll tell you why. It's a good thing. Because then the employer wants to hire you. If I know that this person has to work for me for 2 years, then I feel secure. That's why I do big investments. Like we're creating a huge software with Mert. We were talking about it today. And I am comfortable that Mert will not leave me in 3 months because somebody else is paying him $2 more. Because his lifeline is in my hand, at least for another 18 months. So that way it encourages me to actually hire people and do that. And every other employer is looking into that as well. So, thank you, Mert. All right, so of course there is a point system attached to your application, and I want Yasser to kind of explain to us what are granting you points. Let me just go to my knowledge.
Yeah. You know, basically like the NOC, like a 0, A, B, C, is going to give you a point. You know, like what kind of skill are you going to apply. And second thing is your occupation is in under 100 skill that BC needs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You're gonna get it closer. So.
They give you like a point where you are, like where is your employment place, give you point. Education give you point. You know, and experience give you point. What's the wage of like that job that you are getting, give you point, and of course English. The minimum level of English that BCPNP needs is 5, which is very, very lower than
Express
like
entry.
entry.
Is age a factor or not?
No.
No, not in BCPNP. No. So that's like the biggest major factor that disrupts our party is no longer a factor over there. Like for those people that they're already like, but remember this again, if you're applying for postgraduate work permit and you're 36 years, you're already hooped. You spend all this money, by the time that you're actually making it there, you're 40. And then you kind of like spend $80,000 to gain 65 points, and in return you lost 80 points. So pay attention to that as well. Okay, so again, I want to ask you guys something. Like there is a category called semi-skilled worker, and those people need less English, and
Yes.
they can even be NOC C or whatnot,
C or
right?
D.
Like a specific things.
Lowest skill.
Lowest skilled program. So it's called the semi-skilled or lowest skilled. So there is like programs for people that they don't even have enough English, but those are not like high-level jobs. You can be a cook, you can be whatever. This is a semi-skilled worker, all right? So. In Express Entry, you need a job offer with LMIA approval. So this is the question that everybody puts to me. Like I'm just going into that room and I am in an interview with people and I just tell all of this and they're like, what if I don't get a job offer? Well, you don't get a job offer, you have to go back home. That's what it is. They never ask about it. What if you get the PGWP and you don't get a job? Do you think that it is possible that you have PGWP and you don't get a job?
Of course.
What makes you think that the job for postgraduate work permit is guaranteed? It's not. It's actually much harder to get that job because it is in NOC A, B, O, and it is a higher paid job. People are more reluctant to get you. Okay? Next term, we're going to have a lady starting with us. She spent over $120,000 7 years ago to study a master's degree in University of Vancouver Island. She couldn't find a job for 2 years. Somebody offered her job at the 3rd year, and they just declared it management, but she got paid minimum wage. At the end of that year, her application got declined, and she has to go to here to renew the study permit. So it could happen. There is no guarantee that you're getting a job. So people are asking me, what if nobody gives me a job offer? And then I'm like, okay, well, go to other public colleges. What if you don't get a job, period? You don't get a chance. But people don't pay attention to this because it's advertised PGWP equals PR. It's not. It is not. Tell me if I am wrong. No. Is PGWP equal PR?
No.
It just give you the option to work for next 2-3 years until you find a job.
And 65 to 115 points. So let's be fair to them.
Yeah.
But this is what it is. And so then I say, why would, this is a quiz for everyone, right? How many of you are in business? There's a lot of you, right? There's a lot of people that they're in business program here. When it comes to expenses, what is the biggest expense of an employer? What is the biggest expense of a business? Where do I spend my money the most? Employees. Like these guys are just, not these guys, but those guys are eating up all my money. Right? So, no. No. But that's the truth. The money that I'm paying to my employers is 4 times as much as my rent. Like rent is nothing. Second question, especially for business people, where do you have control over your expenditure? Which item can you control? Can I control rent?
No. Wage.
Again, it's wages. So the only thing that I can control is wages. So why would I provide a job offer to David, Victoria for that matter? Why would I provide that? Because I have a need. These people have to fulfill a need for me. And I am bargaining with them. Not because I am an asshole, because I really need it to work for me. At the end of the day, I have to take some money home as well. So I bargain. I try to just get them to charge me less as possible. And now I find an opportunity because these people who I am getting, they want to have their immigration so we can negotiate. I have that negotiation power. So you think the guy who has a grocery store or a small company that does this or a small company that does that will not hire you? You are very wrong. They will hire you. Not because they love you, because it is into their benefit. Right? So that's the whole thing. So if I am an employer and I have a person, and we're not talking about Victoria because she's too young and she only took 2 years, in a public college. But imagine that I have a PhD from university or whatever, and I have MERT. There is a PhD of computer science and there is MERT. I guarantee you Mert knows better than him, but I can pay Mert X dollars. This guy wants 4X dollars. Just the name PhD is just making him feel that they have to get paid more. So who do you think I hire? I proved I'm hiring Mert, right? And it's not like Mert is much more valuable than him to me, but this is the thing that's going to happen, okay? So the point of today is not, I just wanted to open up to you and open the whole thing. If you're comparing ITD with a public college or degree granting, you're in a wrong thinking set. We are different than each other. It's kind of like comparing walnuts and watermelons. Yes, they're both spherical, but they're completely two different things, right? So the way that it works, when I'm going to sell you guys to an employer, I'm like, hey, look, if you pay them $10 an hour less, it's $21,400 per year that you're putting in your pocket. I'm not suggesting that they have to pay you less, but you're a student, you're just trying to get this job, and as a byproduct, you will get your PR as well. So anytime that I'm going to a training with an employer, I just tell them, hey, look, let me just do it. And that's as much as it saves them money if they hire somebody with $10 an hour less. If I'm going with a Canadian PhD that I have to pay them $60, $70 an hour, and I just get somebody with, 40, then I already am ahead for $60,000. It's not like I am this angel who came here to help you. I'm just helping myself. And every single employer thinks about this. So, I think these are the last two slides. The point that I'd like to make is this. There is a lot of mumbo-jumbo promoted by dishonest immigration consultants. And I apologize from you guys. You are not in that group. That's why I'm trusting you. But you know what your colleagues are doing.
Sure.
They're doing any sort of illegal activity to just make more money. They double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip. They charge the school, and they charge you, and they charge for the admission, and they charge for whatever, right? There's like a lot of people that they're doing it. And there is this myth that goes around that if you get PGWP, it's a PR. Is it true?
No.
Is it true?
No.
All I want to establish is that when you're going to somebody's office, so-called the lawyer, right? And they're trying to just portray this big, beautiful thing, and they're telling you that every decision that you've made in your life is wrong. Think twice. You are able to read. You think that you're weak because your English is not good? All of you can read. And thank God there is Google Dictionary and Google Translators and everything. Even if you can't read, do you know copy-paste? Everybody knows that. Make an informed decision. Do not listen to whoever tells you whatever, right? I see a person at the back of the class, he was pulled in 16 different directions the first week that he was here. He was just going this way, and then no, this way, and then maybe I go this way, and then, what if I just go here? And Daddy sent me another $50,000. I'm going to go to BC. No, that's not that. Langara, maybe. No, UBC, I want to have a master's degree. And as Iranian as we are, me included, somehow that little paper has a value for us, which it means nothing in North America. You can have 2, 3, 4 PhDs. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't know how to work, it doesn't mean anything. So, last thing you want to do is just go to somebody's meeting and the expression is, they empty you. You just go there and then they tell you there is no chance for you and you have made all decisions wrong so far, and they're like, oh my God, I lost my money and I lost my situation and I lost this and I lost that. So that's the last thing you want to do to yourself. It just puts you in grief, and I don't want to see that. So I just wanted to show you facts. This PGWP is much smaller than what you think. It is not your thing. So instead of focusing on more, get PGWP, you just focus on getting a job offer from some smaller company, which is much more feasible, or some other immigration program, or whatever. Like I said, there is hundreds of them. All right? Do not put your life in somebody's hand who may or may not even know what they're talking about. Right? An email from an immigration consultant went to a student, and somehow I got it. And it was read, ITD has been trying so hard to get the PGWP, but They are not able to do this because their qualification is that, and they have to have like more than 300 students. And they came up with things that even a cucumber in my refrigerator was laughing at them. Right? So these people are calling themselves immigration consultants, and they're giving you suggestions. I'm not talking about the people that they're in this room, but I have seen immigration consultants that they cannot put 2 English sentences one after another. 2. Their merit of English knowledge is 1 sentence. So do not put your life in their hands. Just read, read, read. I wish you all luck, and thank you very much for being here.